Hi everybody, I'm Gloria Estefan. Welcome to episode 2 of Noelle's Corner. I have 2 Noelles here, little plush dolls that we had made of her. And it's very special, this book, because when Noelle came, when I got Noelle for my son, she was going to be a surprise Christmas present for him. And I was hiding her in my house and we really bonded. But I found that she was looking a little, worse for wear. She didn't seem really healthy, and I took her to the doctor to get checked, and sure enough, she had something called parvovirus that dogs, it's a very, very tough illness on dogs. So I thought, okay, if she's ill, I'm going to they had to put her in the hospital. That's how sick she was. And I went and got my son another puppy. He was a boy. He named him Hef. And later on, Hef and Noelle actually got married and had 8 puppies because they loved each other so much. But that's a whole other story. So Noelle was in the hospital for 10 days. I gave my son Hef for Christmas. And when she came out of the hospital, we were going to a home we have in Vero Beach. And she loved that place so much, maybe because it was the first place that she ever experienced being home. She had only been in my house 2 days before she had to go to the hospital. So I wrote this book about the Treasure Coast, which is in Vero Beach. And it's called Noelle's Treasure Tale because it was her favorite place on earth, just like it is mine to go visit. I'm going to put this Noelle, well, I'll leave it here. But everything in the book is about preservation of the environment, of the sea turtles, which are the main thing that they preserve in Vero Beach. It's a very big nesting ground for sea turtles, and they come up on the beach and dig big nests. And the reason they call it the Treasure Coast is because many, many years ago, in like the 1700s, which you'll hear about in the book, there were a lot of galleons going to Spain from Cuba loaded with gold, and there was a hurricane and all the ships went down right near that place. And for years they've been finding treasure from these sunken ships. They still haven't found 3 of them, and they continue to find treasure all the time. So I always try to make the books about things I know about and things that are important to me. They always have a message. And we'll talk about the message in this one after the book. But here it is for you. Noelle's Treasure Tale, illustrated by Michael Garland. A wonderful illustrator that I love. Okay, here we go. This one's a little scary at the beginning, so. The dark skies seemed to open, pouring rivers of rain, as 11 brave galleons made their way back to Spain. They were loaded with treasure, gold and silver doubloons, thunder sounding the way on a night with no moon. The wind tossed them and turned them. Their fate was quite plain. They were all going down in a great hurricane. It was storming outside as the little girl read, and Noelle got so scared she hid under the bed. Let me read you the part about pirates and ghosts and the reason they call it the Great Treasure Coast. But Noelle thought she'd heard way too much information. They were going right there, the next day on vacation. Maybe we'll find the treasure, Noelle, some for each. There's a chance that it might have washed up on the beach. If the stories are true, one piece never found was the Christmas gift meant for the Queen, a gold crown. Noelle's head was spinning while hatching a plan. She'd have to dig zillions of holes in the sand. If there was a treasure, by golly, she'd find it, and maybe unravel the mystery behind it. When she got there, the 2 of them raced to the beach, as a gull seemed to welcome them both with a screech. Then Noelle, with excitement too hard to control, started digging away when she found a small hole. Noelle scooped out sand till her snout could fit in, and then yelped as she felt a sharp pain on her chin. She flung her head back, and a creature with claws yelled and screamed as he hung there, attached to her jaw. Stop, stop, stop what you're doing, insensitive hound. You're a dog. There's no way you can live underground. I was digging for treasure I was told might be here. Didn't mean to upset you, said Noelle, quite sincere. Listen up, said the crab. I've been searching forever. We might find it much faster if we both work together. Farther down on the beach, Noelle saw in a bunch 20 sandpipers slurping up sand fleas for lunch. They were miniature birds running fast to and fro, trying not to get caught in the wave's undertow. One called out to Noelle, "We don't mean to butt in, but if treasure's your goal, in the forest begin." Noelle crouched down and asked, "Want to go for a ride?" The crab climbed on her back, and they ventured inside. Glaring under some brush, like two marbles they shone, eyes that stared at Noelle like a dog at a bone. Then a deep, grumbly voice broke the still of the air. "Whose permission have you to just traipse through my lair?" "What's your name?" asked Noelle of the big, fearsome cat. "My name's Bob," he replied. "Want to stop for a chat?" "I'm afraid we must go and continue our quest. We're in search of a treasure. Any place you'd suggest?" "I suggest you take cover," the wise bobcat purred. "There's a hurricane coming. Or haven't you heard?" "Then we'd better get going," Noelle said with worry. "We'll have to head back to the house in a hurry." They discovered a path and decided to follow, but the rain made them hide in a log big and hollow. Noelle thought out loud, "What we need is a map, but until it stops raining, we might as well nap." As Noelle nodded off, she could hear distant thunder while dreaming of treasure and pirates who plunder. She was on a big ship being bounced side to side. Waves like mountains of water crashed and landed inside. At the helm was a seagull. Like a statue he stood, with a patch on one eye and a leg made of wood. He was shouting out orders. Noelle's heart quickly sank. "This dog's after me treasure. She must now walk the plank." Uh-oh. Noelle felt a sharp sword poke her right in the back. A raccoon wearing boots had her under attack. "Move along, scurvy dog, or I'll slice you in three." Noelle took a big breath and jumped into the sea. Just as soon as Noelle was convinced she would drown, she discovered she was falling up and not down. On the back of a turtle who had swum down to save her. To the surface she rode on her turtelevator. She said, "How can I ever your kindness repay? I will give you the treasure if I find it one day." The great sea turtle said, "I know just where it lies. I will whisper some clues that you must memorize." So Noelle listened well, but then wanted to scream when she woke up to find it had all been a dream. Her incredible dream to the crab she confided, as she told him each clue that the turtle provided. "At the edge of the forest, find the tree with the heart. Count 12 paces due east. It is there you will start. From that point you will see 50 yards to the north, several mounds in the sand, but your aim is the fourth. It is marked with a stick with a number and date. You must get there by dark, or it might be too late." Noelle's heart beat faster with each clue that they found. All at once, there it was, the mysterious mound. And just as Noelle thought her journey complete, something wiggly and jiggly shook under her feet. Little heads, tiny flippers, crawled out of the sand on their way to the ocean, as if on command. Baby turtles, 100, scooted fast past Noelle. Some took off the wrong way. One flipped back on its shell. Then a hungry raccoon and a ravenous snake showed up out of nowhere for sea turtle steak. But Noelle, thinking fast, out of pure intuition, stood like stone in their path, knowing this was her mission. Growled a growl that was frightful and chased them away. And each baby sea turtle she then led the right way. Far from shore, a huge turtle, like the one she had dreamed, waved a flipper in thanks. At least that's how it seemed. Noelle figured her dream must have come as a sign. She glanced back at the mound, where she saw something shine. "One more turtle," she cried. "We must dig farther down." Gently using her teeth, she pulled out a gold crown. To the day 1 year later, in a palace in Spain, the king toasted Noelle with a glass of champagne. "I declare that Noelle has a worth we can't measure for returning to Spain our historical treasure." The little girl hugged her and said, "I'm so proud." Then a hip hip hooray burst from out of the crowd. Noelle thought to herself, though gold may bring pleasure, she had learned from the turtles, life is the true treasure. And that's Noelle's treasure tale. And by the way, sea turtles do lay eggs with 100 baby turtles. They lay them in, they dig big holes, they come out. These really heavy sea turtles come out from the sea and crawl their way all the way as far as they can up the sand to protect their babies. They spend 2 hours digging a nest, and then they lay about 100 eggs and cover them up again, leaving a mound. There's 3 different types of sea turtles. There's the green, the loggerhead, and the very rare leatherback. Each one of them, you can tell what kind of turtle made that nest from the kind of nest. The loggerheads leave a mound, the greens leave a hole, and the leatherbacks are the biggest turtles of all. In fact, now, throughout this pandemic, in Thailand, where the leatherback turtles hadn't come back in a long time, they've been laying their nests in record numbers because no one is out on the ocean in boats and people are quiet. So nature is really changing a lot through everything we're going through this pandemic. And we have a home there and had the blessing of seeing these turtles come up and lay their nest, and we quietly sat and watched them. We've saved baby sea turtles and helped them get out to sea. So again, everything in this book was inspired by real events, and Noelle, her favorite place on earth was Vero Beach, where Treasure Tale is about. So I hope you enjoyed it and that you had a nice time. Noelle says, "Thank you, everyone. I love you. Come back soon."